California.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Majestix Heroclix Podcast. If you like our content, please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. If you're interested in learning more about the Bronze Age format and the Majestix Open Series, please check out openseries.majestixccg.com. Also, if you want to learn about Heroclix strategies, tactics, and lists from the game's top players, please visit majestixccg.com/apex-insiders. Lastly, if you're looking for Heroclix singles, please visit our eBay stores at stores.ebay.com/MajestixHeroclix and stores.ebay.com/ClicksCollective. All the links for everything I just talked about is below in the description. And again, my name is Jeff, and this time we're not joined by our regular co-host. We have Skipper's Pat Collective, which members are myself, Clay Wood, and Patrick Booth. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, nice to be here.
Thanks for jumping on. We had such a good time in Memphis. I wanted to jump on and share with you guys our experience, our West Coast experience at Worlds. So how was traveling for you guys?
Let's see. Coming from Las Vegas, traveling was a little easy. Getting from here to Denver was pretty easy. And then I met up with you.
Yep.
And then we ended up getting from Denver to Memphis pretty easy too. Even though we beat Clay there by 10 or 15 minutes, which I think was awesome, and he left before us.
I know, right? Yeah, it was. I had two 2-hour flights. So San Jose out to Denver to Memphis with a little layover, meeting up with Patrick. What about you, Clay?
Yeah, traveling not so bad. You know, last year I think I had a direct flight, which was nice. Had to have a couple layovers this time, but yeah, otherwise not so bad. I mean, I think the only question that I would have is like, do you fly in the day before everything starts, like we did, and we kind of got to hang out, collect our bearings, make a Walmart trip, or do you just fly in the morning of, if you're able to get like the right flight? Because I know a number of other people did that, and since the events didn't start until about 2 or so in the afternoon, that's totally a viable option.
I prefer to get there a day early, get settled. Like, it was a long day of traveling. Like, it was like 7 hours of travel time at least. And that's not even including getting from Memphis airport to our hotel, waiting for our bags. Like, that was just getting at the airport at 6:30 in the morning and then arriving in Memphis at 5, right? And there's like a 2-hour time gap. So it was a long day for me.
Same.
Yeah.
It was very long. I would say going that day early is always best because A, you hit up Walmart before everything's gone, right?
Yeah.
B, you have that time to settle in. And then C, I mean, we were lucky enough on Thursday when we went together, we got on the first third of the line to get in, and we still missed events because of it.
Yeah, we didn't make the first battle royale, and we were there, like you said, the first third of the line.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good for us. Like, for me, it was my first time, and I know a lot of people said like, "Oh, it's hard for the West Coast people to get out there." I didn't feel it was difficult. It was just time consuming.
I would agree. It's not hard to get out there. It's just really inconvenient because getting to Memphis, as like Clay was saying, where he had that direct flight, it's not really available. And even from places like Las Vegas, which you would think there's a direct flight to everywhere, right?
Right.
Non-existent.
All roads lead to Vegas. Like, getting home was way worse for me, but we'll get into that later.
Same.
So we settled in. We went to we had dinner at the hotel. We ate at EP, which is a nice little bar and grill. Unfortunately, the first night they were out of a few, like their taps weren't working. They were out of a few beers. But you guys found a beer that you guys really liked. What was it?
I believe it was called the King's Ransom.
Okay.
And it was a peanut butter and banana beer, if I remember correctly, Clay.
Yeah, I think stout, right?
Yes, it was.
It was a porter. It was a porter.
Oh, sorry, it was a porter. Thank you. Yep. And it was locally brewed. It was delicious. Highly recommend that option.
I would definitely say on the addictive side, because I'm not a big drinker, and I drank 3 cans of it. So that tells you how it was good, and then it's sustained me the entire week when I don't drink soda anymore. But I'm like, I gotta get calories somewhere, right?
Very cool. And like it was nice to like see people that first night. Like unfortunately we missed the Dial H presentation. Like I didn't know about it at all. I guess I wasn't on my phone enough that day traveling. But it was cool kind of seeing people around the hotel. And then the next morning we woke up and we checked in to the place, checked out the convention center. What were your guys' thought on how things? Well, so Clay, you were there last year. Patrick, you weren't, right?
Correct. I haven't been to a World since I think 2016.
So Clay, how would you compare last year's setup to this year?
It was very, very comparable, except that they had one additional hall. So they had 3 different areas this year, and so that gave them much more space, which was nice.
I couldn't imagine it just in 2 halls. That's rough.
I know. Yeah, it was much tighter last year.
Yeah. Okay. And then I played in 4 battle royales that first day. I won 2, I lost 2, and I walked away with a Joker and a Superman. What about you guys?
I think I played in the same amount as you. I think we all played in 4, honestly.
Yeah.
Right. And I walked away with 3 cons and a chase.
Nice.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I won 3 and came in second on the last one or something like that. So I was doing pretty good that night. I got a good start on my 2 Superman out of 4 that I won in the entire. Just really wanted to give me Superman.
Rainbow fingers.
So yeah. I felt like I saw him drop more than any of the other con LEs.
So I would say like I've been hearing around that WizKids really didn't variety up their cons throughout the weekend. They were just kind of like, this day was like these 2, and they kind of burned through their, I guess, stores until they got to the next one. I would hope next year they would just kind of put it in a big old bucket, mix it up, and just go from that, right? Because I never saw a Joker at all the entire weekend.
I saw a bunch of Venoms, but never at my table.
Huh.
I mean, I'm sitting next to one right now, so
want to trade that shit? Too cool for school, buddy. Were you guys able to get all the con LEs you wanted?
I'm just missing the Joker.
Yeah, I took my 4 Superman and found some very nice people to trade. So kudos to I think Mike Holloway traded 1 for Venom. Very nice
That's
trade.
Very good.
Hope you shook that man's hand.
Yeah.
Dude, the Venom is so hard to find. Nice. Like there's none online. I'm looking constantly. Yeah. He does not exist.
I'll be honest. I'm really glad I didn't trade it on Sunday because after he skyrocketed after the weekend, I told the Vegas guys, you owe me 2 Black Lanterns at least now for it.
Jeez, yeah. Like he's really like he's none on eBay, none on the trade pages on Facebook. Mm-hmm. He's hot commodity. Like maybe at PAX we might see some more. If not, I don't know. He's gonna be one of those coming out of the warehouse in 3 years. But like, Unplugged, we found some.
PAX, right?
What? Huh?
PAX Unplugged, right?
I believe that's the other one that WizKids said they're going to. So cross your fingers we get some more out in the wild.
That was a nice con. I went a couple years to that one.
Okay, nice. Yeah, like the whole going to convention things is still kind of new to me. Like I've gone to Silicon Valley Comic Con when it first opened up, and then I hadn't gone back because it got a little smaller. But not much of a con goer. What about you, Clay?
I followed Worlds and Nationals around a little bit. I would try to go to one every year. When it started off at Gen Con, I went there a few years, and then it moved to Origins in Columbus. And I missed the first year that it was actually at Graceland in 2019. And but otherwise, I've been to every. And then I think one time they did Worlds out in Philadelphia. So I've been trying to follow around.
Yeah, like I'm hooked. I'm gonna go to Worlds every year.
That's something bad happens. That's the highlight of my year.
Dude, I had this.
There are highlights, there are lowlights, but it's still the best thing to do.
I would agree. I'm probably going to be stuck now going every year too because I always thought it was going to be more expensive to get to Memphis. With the fact that I can get a free plane flight just using points with Southwest, Thank you, Southwest. Thank you.
Dude, Southwest is the shit. We're not even sponsored. 2 free bags, baby.
Yeah. And those not peanuts. They don't do peanuts anymore. Now it's pretzels and those weird cinnamon things that were addictive. The cinnamon
Did
cookies.
I tell you what happened to me with those cinnamon things?
The lady stole them from
So
me,
like
right?
on the flight out, right? On my first flight out, like it's still hella early, so I crash out and I tuck it in the little thing in front of me, and I was like, and it's literally next to my phone. And I wake up because the flight's done. I'm like, oh, I'm starting to pack my stuff up. I'm like, what the fuck are my cinnamon shit? Somebody stole that. I was hella mad. It was gonna be my little dessert later. All right, so that was our Thursday, and then the reason the 3 of us came together was for Friday.
Well, don't forget dinner. We ate at EP's again because we could
ate
not
at EP's
find
again.
any other restaurants the weekend.
EP's again, and that was the last time we ate it. No, we ate at EP's.
For
Yeah, that was
lunch
the last time
today.
we ate at EP's.
No,
was that night?
we ate. I thought we ate their lunch on after teams too.
No.
No.
No, we had hot dogs on Friday. Remember?
Yes, the terrible hot dogs that they had ketchup for.
Yeah, we asked for hot dogs with ketchup, and they're like, okay, sure, we got it. And then they give us our hot dogs. I'm like, oh, where's the ketchup? Oh, we don't have any. I'm like, I wouldn't have ordered a hot dog if you didn't have ketchup. But the reason we all came together for Skipper Pat's Collective, for our team, for Team Sealed, that was actually really cool. There was a lot of work that Clay put into helping us be successful with, well, what I felt would be successful.
You are our data goblin, man.
We were almost there. So tell us some of the little tips.
Yeah.
You don't have to spill the whole cookie jar. Just give us some crumbs.
All right. So beyond creating websites in my spare time, I also like to create spreadsheets. And so we basically went through and listed all of the different units, which was interesting because the units were being spoiled as we were planning. And so we didn't actually know all of the units until the night before, I believe.
Yes.
So I really like to keep track of how many units in the set have prob control, how many have TK, how many have outwit, how many have perplex. I think barrier is another super key power. And then outliers, like are there units that have 6 or higher range? Are there units that have 12 attack or higher, 19 defense or higher? Because, those are the types of things that you build a team around, right? And so we went through, and then we also we rate every unit from 1 to 5 in terms of its playability, or is this a unit that you were going to automatically throw in the trash can, or is this a unit that is like absolutely on your number 1 team? And so that when we crack those units, we're able to partition those into different groups and then build teams from the most playable units. We also did something interesting with the maps. So I think a lot of people do what I just described. Maybe not go so far as spreadsheets, but they have a process by which they identify like their favorite, most promising units. But we also did something interesting with maps. Now I have to say I stole this idea from a team last year at Worlds, but I loved it so much we did it this year. And basically, I went to hcmaps.net, another site I created, and you can create images for all of the different maps. And so we went and we printed them out and put them into a binder with the map itself, so that when you are frantically building a team and trying to figure out then what map is good for that team. So for instance, if you're playing King Shark or some of the Dolphins in the Notorious set, you want water. Well, how are you going to frantically like you've just frantically put together a team. You want a map that corresponds with it. Having like labels and a binder of these maps allows you to flip through it super quickly and pick out the maps that you think are going to be the best for your team. I think that helped a ton.
It did. It made things go much smoother, much quicker. Like especially with like us ripping the packs open, kind of splitting stuff up. We had our 4 piles. We had our go-to pile, like we're gonna play this stuff. we have our filler pile, we have our trash pile, and then specifically for Notorious, we had our goon pile.
Yes.
Right. So
Goon
like,
box, I think it turned into.
Yeah, it turned into. We had a lot of goons, and I think you the only one to play him, Pat.
Yeah.
Were you the goon master?
I was the goon master. I think I was the only one that played a goon. I had the black mana on my team because I had the dead shot. But
Should have been
was
Clay's.
Clay thinks it should have been his.
Yeah.
It's okay. Clay, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's been a week.
It might take me about 51 weeks, but I'll eventually let go of this year's Worlds.
So what I'm hearing is 51 podcasts later.
Clay has beaten himself up. It's okay, dude. We did well. Like
we got 17th. That's a heartbreak number.
There was a serious unfortunate event that did happen that messed you up. So Clay's King Shark was in water terrain, and his opponent chose King Shark for the Deadshot trait, and Deadshot was 8 squares away, right?
Yep.
He activated his power to make his range attack regardless of line of fire, but the dolphin symbol says you can't be targeted if you're outside of the 4 squares, so the indigo battery, right? And the judge unfortunately ruled against him and said that he could be shot.
Yeah, which is a tough break. But
I think that cost you the game, right?
It did. It cost me the game. I think
so. And that's was the downward spiral of us making 17th and not making that top cut. We were how many points away?
45
I don't remember.
Points. We missed 16th by 45 points.
So it was unfortunate, but like I had a great time. Like I hope you guys did too.
I thought it was the greatest. It was fun. I mean,
dude,
sure we hit 17, but you know what? 17 is a great place to start for the first incarnation of Skipper Patch Collective. Okay.
So it's funny you say that because at my first states, there was like 40 people there, and I got 17th too, and I was just a couple points out of the top 16, and it's because I had a badge judge call against me. He didn't know how to read cards.
Reading is fundamental. We got to remember that. We got to invest in education, okay?
It is a skill.
So there is one other thing we did to plan, which was we kind of took a look across the set and we tried to, theorize what are some good teams we could build with just commons, uncommons, and rares. Yes. Kind of going on the notion that there's a pretty high probability that you can pull any particular, CUR. Now, I actually am going back and forth on this because I think we did come up with some really good ideas. Unfortunately, every single team we built was missing one of the rares that we really needed to make the team work.
Like Necron who?
Yeah. Didn't get a Necron, didn't get a Ras Al Ghul.
We didn't get a Black Adam.
Didn't get Black Adam. Yeah, some of the big names, big heavy hitters for the set we didn't pull.
I don't even think.
And I think that really threw us. Yeah, didn't get a Black Manta either, right?
So like a lot of the higher end, more impactful rares, we didn't get in our break. But yeah, so I ended up with an Arkham Asylum themed team, which consisted of Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, Amanda Waller, and Two-Face, the SR, the A. So Prob. What was your team, Patrick?
I ended up with the Hodgepodge, but the Hodgepodge was really good because I revolved it around the 100-point Saturn Queen because double prob will make anyone's day miserable. 85-point Common Superman because his Justice League can pick any team ability, and the team ability that he shoots with that against that gets penetrating damage, which is pretty lethal. 15-point Goon, the Black Mana one, so he had enhancement. And then for the last 100 points, I did the Deadshot. So I had another combination with the shot, and then I had Brainiac at 30 for Outwit, which I'll be honest, playing that whole event, Brainiac was the MVP because man, did he mess up people.
Yeah, Outwit is huge. Was huge in the sealed format.
Yeah. Speaking of which, my team was number 1, Lex Luthor, the king of Outwit. I pulled King Shark, and then we had a Chase deceased Superman, and then rounded it out with Captain Cold, which is funny. I would say that the Lex Luthor and the Captain Cold were actually my MVPs, and especially the Chase Superman did not pull his weight at all. Probably much better in a constructed modern game, which has a average game length of about 3 rounds, in which case he will not die. But when you go 10 rounds in a sealed game, he gets blasted into oblivion really quick.
And he goes to those countdown clicks, and
people are gonna roll dice against it because they can.
And
or just run away and pass, and boom, and he's dead.
Yeah, I did that a few games. Highlight though, I did take down a Black Adam in 1 turn.
Yeah, this is a great story. You got to tell this.
So I knock him down 1, and then I knock him again into his impervious, and then I get in there with the flurry pogs, boom boom, knock him to his invulnerability, and then so I get past the impervious, and then because I get the free hit, the Mystics hurt Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. They're there. They get bonuses to their attack and defense, so they get their free attacks against him, and he just goes down, and then he's left with the Saturn Queen, and then I start making
away. Did he?
And then the Saturn. So I start making a couple attacks on the Saturn Queen, and then he runs back with his Saturn Queen. I'm like, I'm up on points, so he took me to the one with all the rooms. I can't remember. The name
was it Oscorp maybe, or Daily Bugle?
No, it was from Avengers 60th. It was the one with the prison maybe. It's the one with all the little rooms, the 4 rooms, 2 on each side, the blocking down the middle. So I bring my whole team in there. So like he has to get real close to shoot to try and mind control me, because that's the only way he's going to get points. And then I just start taking pod shots, and I get through. And I lost really bad my first game. Like I got Black Adam. I got Black Adam. And there was nothing I could do. It was 0 to 300. Like I got lost so bad. And I was so worried I was going to lose the rest of the day like that. And then I ended up clearing the next 3 teams that I played. So I made up for that first round loss. But I should have got 50 points.
I think the takeaway is that we drastically underrated Poison Ivy.
I want to say I think you guys drastically underrated Poison Ivy, if I remember correctly putting my score in.
Well, you failed to convince us that she was as effective as you believed her to be.
I played her in Pulp just the other night.
She's the queen of Pulp, is what she is.
She is, yeah.
So disgusting. Like, you're just going in with 11 attacks, flurry, it's move up, flurry. Like, it doesn't get much better than that, right? Mm-hmm. And my new trick, I was pairing her with, was it the Joker from BTU? Because he gives everyone with the Batman enemy Mystics. So if you want to kill those little fuckers, take it Mystics.
Nice.
Oh, God. Oh, that's great.
And is he Gotham Underworld, or is he Arkham? Or both? Even better.
Yeah. Wow. So he has the Gotham City Underworld. So if they attack him, Harley and Poison Ivy get free attacks.
Oh, man.
Is it weird that the lower rarity Harley and Ivy are better than the higher rarity?
It is funny, but it's totally true.
Dude, yeah. Like that was the bread and butter of the event. And I think a couple other people realized it too throughout the event. They're like, oh man, Poison Ivy's really good. But yeah, she definitely was a sleeper on us. Like we missed that one.
We really, at least I was all in on Lex Luthor. I was actually pretty amazed at how many people I was just able to completely surprise, because they did not know what Superman enemy team ability was. And they're like, oh, you don't have any Outwit on your team. I'm like, oh no, every person except for one person on my team has Outwit, and definitely caught a couple teams.
It is a more underused and rare team ability, and I think it's been that way since like the very incarnation of Heroclix, or you had to pay a very high premium for it, because they are Superman villains. But now, since like the changes over the past 20 years of Heroclix now, they've kind of lowered their pricing, I guess, on the TA, so that now regular guys can have it.
The last one I remember.
General Lane.
Yeah,
General Lane is like
Superman, Wonder Woman, right? Like 2017 era.
Yeah, who did the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I actually realized after the fact that I was playing Superman enemy team ability wrong as well.
Uh-oh.
So
that's right.
Now the old version of Superman enemy team ability required that they stayed next to each other, or else the outwit would go away. And now I didn't realize they changed the rules, so it's you give the two characters a free action. The higher point one gets to use outwit later this turn. So you can give them that free action, move one of them to the other side of the map, and then they can use outwit anytime during that turn. And I don't think this actually was a game breaker, but it was definitely a good lesson to read and reread those rare team abilities that you haven't boned up on in a while.
Here's a good follow-up question. Who's the one that gets the free action? The higher point character?
The higher point. Yes.
Okay. That makes it even better, because you can have the higher point guy move next to your Lex, because that 50-point Lex is the bomb, or sidestep Lex next to them. Whatever. Yeah. Give that high guy the point and let him go do his thing.
Yep, that's right.
So, it's been 5 years since anyone's used that power. So, I'll excuse it, Clay. I'll excuse it.
I mean, how often do they make a DC set? Maybe once every 18 months?
Well, it seems like it'll be a little more frequent going forward.
Hopefully. Especially with that new Doomsday coming out. Woo!
Dude, the Iconics, we can go over those in a little bit, too, if you guys want. So that was our Friday, and then we finished up with some Battle Royales. It was actually my birthday that Friday. So I got so lucky in one of the Battle Royales. We pulled a God Pack. So for third place, I walked away with this guy. Because nobody wanted to fight. Everyone wanted to get last place to get 2 chases. So we ended up with a diplomatic solution, and I ended up getting him and Uatu. I was okay. $20, Black Lantern, Batman, and Uatu. It was a great birthday present to myself.
Very cool.
You're in a good battle royale with fighting for last place.
Right? Everyone was like, I want last place. And I was like, fuck, everyone does want last place.
I mean, third place is in great shape too, because there's also going to be an Ellie on the table. So there's 6 amazing prizes.
Or an SR, right?
Yeah.
Oh no!
I think there was an SR too in the bunch.
I got the worst pick. I only got a chase and an SR.
Oh, shucks. Ooh. Thank you guys again for making my birthday very special that Friday. It was definitely one of the better birthdays I've had. So great company. And then I believe we all went the West Coast strategy on Saturday and just played in Battle Royales.
That's right.
I believe. Well, I did more than just Heroclix Battle Royales on Saturday.
You did. Tell us about it.
I did. So I made friends with a guy.
It's hard to do at your age, Patrick. I'm proud of you.
I know. Thanks. It's all that's background in psychology and stuff like that helps out a lot. Was making friends with some WizKids guys. It was an awesome guy. His name was Mitch, right? And I think the other game's name was Alex, and they were hawking Onslaught. And the entire weekend I was looking at it going what's this game? I've never heard of this game. I've never seen this game before. And what is WizKids doing? They just randomly added this to the schedule. Okay. So I showed interest in it, and he showed me how to play. It's a great game. I'll give you that, right? But I'm also going to be super honest too, right? About my review of this is if you like Star Wars Imperial Assault, the board game, you'll like Onslaught. If you like Heroclix, you'll probably like it too, because it has the dial mechanic that we are all very familiar with, right? Mm-hmm. It's just D&D, and you have a mission to do, and it's your dudes versus the other dudes while trying to complete the mission or kill each other and to get so many points, right, by so many rounds. Really good game. Price point ain't the best, though. It's $145 to get into this with the core set.
That's expensive.
It is expensive, and you do get a lot of pre-painted minis. That's what they're trying to say is well, you're paying for the pre-painted minis. In my opinion, though, the minis are the same grade and the same quality as the other D&D minis they make, just not painted. And the difference is those models are $4.99. And if you're getting 12 of these in here, that's what 12 times 5 is $60.
60.
So $60 the price is the minis. So how much is the paint, right? Because I'm pretty sure they
Time,
don't
labor.
have someone sitting there painting them individually, and if they do, wow, that guy should get paid more. But I liked it. It was a great game. And then on Saturday, which we're talking about, I actually did one of their battle royales, and I got to sit down with Mitch and one of the lead designers of the game. The guy's name is on the box, right?
Awesome.
And we played a great game together. Found out that if you just murder people, you win the game. That's how I won. Is just murder both of them, right? I mean, I guess that is how it is in life. The last man standing writes history. So, hi,
it's very
that was
accurate.
me.
Very accurate.
But the cool thing that I don't think a lot of people were aware of was it was $10 for their battle royales, and if you won, you got a $50 expansion set or a $30 miniature expansion set for the game. So you were getting a lot of bang for your value.
Yeah.
I got to talk with all these guys. It was great. Got to connect with them. Really cool guys. I look forward to sending them some pictures of some of the guys out here in Vegas we played over the weekend. And for just people are getting addicted to this now. But they did say that they're going to find a way, or at least they had plans to get that price point down a little bit more, so that it's a little easier to get into the game. So I'm glad that they recognize that that's an issue, especially since the game's been out since in January, and it's like I'm only hearing about it now. Like, what's going on? So I'm glad they see that.
Boy, between Lorcana and Onslaught, should West Coast Heroclix be worried?
Well, I know that
What?
I don't want to say his name, but Lesser Pat, I think was the way that he said it, right? Seems to be really interested in a card game about Mickey Mouse, but I guess that must be what happens when you live really close to where he lives in Anaheim, right?
Well, hopefully his move away from Anaheim will refocus his HeroClickness.
I know he had to move towards me to the greater Pat,
How's Vegas going to handle two Pats? We'll see what happens.
It's really easy. Pick your sides. I'll probably lose. It's okay. It's okay. I live up in the mountains. Mountains
the flag
are great.
Is down. You have mountains in Vegas?
Yes, I live behind one.
Oh, I missed them. I knew there was like snow on some of them. I didn't see houses up there. That's cool.
Yeah, so we're at the foothills of the mountains. Like you could literally walk across my street and touch the mountain ridge that surrounds Las Vegas.
Because you guys are in like a valley, right?
Correct.
So Patrick, I think you hit upon what I think is like the best part of Worlds, and it's just meeting people. Hands down, all the people you get to meet. You read about all these people taking first place, second place, and all these tournaments, getting to meet them face to face. And it really is this community that makes this game so amazing, and stand out among, a pretty big crowd of games vying for your dollar. But boy, the folks here are just awesome. And it was so much fun. I had battle royales where I'd sit down and halfway through we'd realize that, oh my God, we've been actually trading emails and instant messages for the last 4 months with regards to HCunits.net. And, I think that happened at least 2 or 3 times. And so it's just such a pleasure to get to see people. I just wish it was more often. That's my only complaint.
Yeah.
I wish there's more on the West Coast that we could do this more often, right?
Yeah. Everyone I met, was super nice. Very humble, very polite, just hey, it's really nice to meet you. It was the positive atmosphere was there. It was just it was basically, I've never felt anything like that before, at an event like that. Because I've gone to competitive events, but it was never that. Everyone's more in their own little space, but everyone was so open and welcoming here. It was very nice.
I mean, we had a pretty amazing night. We got to spend the night after, I don't remember which evening, maybe was it Friday night, hanging out with George Masu.
Oh yeah, dude, that was the best.
Helping him play test his team. I mean, George is an amazing guy. He's been such a pillar of this HeroClix community. He doesn't do podcasts, but boy, he is such an awesome person to hang out with, and getting to see the way that his mind works.
Yes.
I'll admit, I think it played a little bit of a role in deciding that I was not going to do Worlds because I'm like, wow, there's no way I'm as good as this guy. George is the man. So
I know for one, I didn't play in Worlds for 2 reasons. I'm assuming we all had reasons why we did or did not play in Worlds for 2 reasons. I think that's a great topic.
Yeah.
I know my reason is I always do a cost analysis in my head. Is it worth it? Is what I ask myself. Compare, and when I say is it worth it, this is where you're gonna get the 1 and the 2 for me. Is the pricing worth it? And I'll be honest, I think a lot of people would agree that WizKids pricing smelt a little old. Is what I'm gonna say.
oh,
Right?
let's be honest. The pricing was atrociously bad. It was really borderline unforgivable.
I just want to make sure that everyone knows that Clay said that, not Skipper Pat.
No.
Not El
Clay
Jefe.
said that. Okay. And then the other one is this is my vacation. I don't get very many vacations in the field that I work in. And I'm going to enjoy myself. And I do not want to go through the mental backflips and the stress gauntlet that is modern. I did that when I was a younger man. I don't need to do that for this year, especially when there was no incentive to do so. So, yay, I survived, and I'm very happy for it.
Yes. I
I know-
slept well the night before.
Yeah.
And I can't
Yes.
say everyone else
I
there
slept
did.
well every night.
Oh, yeah, Mr. I
Jeff,
slept
you
well every
actually
night.
were right on the borderline of whether or not to play. All the
So-
way up to the last second. I am curious. Why did you not play?
Come on,
So yeah,
Jeff.
I had been practicing a team that I thought was very well built and could handle most situations. Like I practiced a lot, and I had a backup team that I knew would perform well too. And like I was in my head, I wanted to compete, I wanted to play, and then after playing in the battle royales the first couple of days, I was like, dude, I'm getting better pricing, and like at the end of the day, I'm gonna get better stuff by playing in 6, 7 battle royales throughout the day. Yes, I'm gonna spend 7 times what I would have spent to enter the tournament, but the pricing, what I walked away with, was far better, and that was my final decision. Like you said, the pricing wasn't very good. Like when Lucas reached top 4, I was like, "Hey, you unlocked pricing," and like
Yeah.
as much as there's a truth, like the truth in the jest there, right? Like if you didn't make top 4, you're not gonna get shit, right? The pricing wasn't that good.
And
It was like that OP John Constantine.
Even Lucas, who is the pulp champion,
Yeah.
did not get any of the prizes, the Con Ellies. Even the team sealed champions did not get any of the Con Ellies.
Yeah.
Now here's the one caveat. I think our logic was sound until about 12 o'clock when they ran out of Con Ellies. Sorry.
No, it was like the second BR Saturday. Like they started running out.
It was 2 p.m. I remember the exact time because that's when I switched to Onslaught. It was like 2 p.m. Saturday, and I was like, nope.
But they had already started dropping Wonder Woman's and Phoenixes, like Lady Phoenix.
I think it was my second battle royale. They dropped a Superman Prime on our table, and I looked. The next table next to me got like a Venom, and I'm like, why did we just get a Superman Prime? Like, what? Where's the rest? Are you gonna come back? Nope, that's it. What the hell?
I just want to know who couldn't do the math.
So quick analysis of this real fast, right? For each case of Notorious, you need 5 Con Ellies.
Yeah.
So they ran out of Notorious Sunday morning. So they did 1 BR in the morning and then they were out. But they ran out of pricing like early Saturday, like early morning, mid afternoon, right? Like they were gone of the Venoms, of the Thor Gwens, of the Rainbow Supermans, and of the Jokers. Like they were gone. They were dropping Uatu's, they were dropping Chainsaw Wonder Woman's, Old Man Hawkeyes, and what was the other one?
Watcher. They still had Watcher.
I said Uatu.
The Phoenixes?
No, yeah, you're right. The Phoenix, the big box one, right?
Yeah, the annoyance to get home.
Yeah. Which, this is all stuff like 2 out of those they were selling at like the booth, right? They had Chainsaw Wonder Woman on the list for like $15 or something.
They never sold her,
but she was on the list for $15.
Correct. She was on the list, but they didn't have any because they used it to fill the bags for the hotel people.
Yeah, and they ran out of Space Ghosts.
Yes, that was crazy.
So like they had to raffle off the Space Ghosts. So that was That was a thing too. So that's why they're so expensive.
So yeah, the pricing kind of sucked. Let's be honest. There's a lot of room for improvement, we'll say.
So my reason for not playing Worlds was Modern was they didn't have good enough pricing throughout the whole thing, right? And I'm a confident guy. Like I think I would have done well. But would I've won it all to get any decent pricing? Maybe. But like I said, I had a lot of fun doing the battle royales. I walked away with some cool chases, some cool con Ellies, and I got a bunch of good stuff that I can give away. That was the goal.
And you got a majority of the Notorious. I think the three of us walked away with a good 75% of the Notorious set complete. So that was nice.
Now, so let's talk about the good stuff. I've complained enough. I have to really give kudos to the folks running the events, especially Dial H. Oh my God, what an amazing job they did!
Top tier.
I don't know if you've had a chance to see some of the videos that they put out after the fact, the cards they did for the top 32. Dial H in particular went above and beyond, and I can't wait to go back and watch all the matches that they recorded because they recorded a lot. But really kudos to all the WizKids folks as well. They really, if they didn't prepare well with the con LEs, they made up for it by how awesome they ran the events.
Yes,
the lines moved pretty quickly.
The front desk staff was amazing.
For the big events, they were great. They were all very friendly. Super cool. Big shout out to everybody who was actually there doing what they could with what they had. They made the most out of it for sure.
Minus the judge that doesn't know about the dolphin symbol.
Oh yeah.
Except for you, Mittens, you know who you are.
What'd you say?
If you don't, we know who you are, Mittens.
We'll always remember how Dolphin works from now on.
Correct.
Never forget. And then I just wanted to say big shout out to Jackson Cole Smith for buying 5 bricks of the Flash, and I instead of throwing it away, he donated it to me. So I told him
and why did he buy 5 bricks, Jeff?
Because he was searching for Black Lantern Zoom.
And did he find Black Lantern Zoom?
No, he didn't.
That's what he gets because he tried to hose me on a first battle royale with Mr. Freeze. That's what he gets. That's what you get, Jackson. I'll fight you anytime.
Don't fuck with Skipper Pat, guys.
But Jackson, to his credit, also I think he is our most highly placed West Coast player.
Yeah.
No, I think we should disown him because you know what? I love all our Canadian friends. They are a great hat on the North America, right? And poor Jackson, who's a traitor to us, spent more time with them, and I love them. But you know what? You can have Jackson. Take him to your frozen north all you want. Okay? Emily, shout out to you. Thank you for chatting with me for a good chunk of Sunday. Love you.
I don't know.
Very nice to meet you.
I think maybe we need to figure out how to bring him back into our collection. Coast fold.
Winter is coming.
Jackson's an amazing player. We can't just give away the next generation of talented HeroClix players to Canada.
Let them have them.
Reclaim what's ours.
Jacksons
come home, Jackson. Come home. Come on.
He'd have to stop playing so loose. All right. You guys have anything else you want to share from Worlds? Any advice for people going in the future?
Research
is key.
Food is what I made the mistake of. And I think we all made the mistake of because we ate at the same GD places the entire weekend. Dude. I did not know there was a restaurant actually in Graceland, and that restaurant was actually pretty good. I ate there on Sunday after you guys disappeared, right? It was good. It was better than any other places.
I'm glad.
I love the buffet was the best. The buffet was the
Won't
best.
forget next year. And then I wanted to go to Marlowe's, but it doesn't help when the first thing you get off the plane in Memphis, the 2 nice old guys that are behind you go, "Hey kid, don't turn around too often because they're going to try and shoot you where you are." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not leaving the area." All right, well,
Yeah, we didn't leave the Graceland properties.
one bullet hole is enough in a person. Okay, no, I don't need 2.
Oh shit. Is that a story you want to share with us, Pat?
Maybe another day.
All
Skipper
right.
Pat has plenty of stories.
Oh, sweet Christmas.
I have a takeaway, Jeff. I think I was carefully watching the meta, and it was very interesting seeing how the meta evolved over the summer. A lot of focus on the MOE chases.
Yeah.
And we saw, Spider-Man Prime kind of come out of nowhere and become really define the meta. And I was thinking, he kind of came up out of nowhere at the end of the Rock States series.
Yeah.
It's going to change again going into Worlds. And I was wrong. It didn't at all. Spider-Man totally continued to dominate that meta.
It's such a good reach.
There were a few novel teams. 4 Scarabs in particular sounded horrible to play against, or 5
Booger played it well.
Mr. Friedman and Mr. Gallagher.
But both the teams contributing to my desire not to play Worlds. But overall, we saw the winner played Prime Spider-Man. A lot of the top 16, I need to go back and look again, but it's clearly dominated by the stuff that was already prevalent that we knew about from the end of the summer. And so I think my takeaway is the meta doesn't change nearly as much as you think. People aren't going to always surprise you with some crazy team out of left field. You're going to, if you were to prepare, I would prepare by looking at what the meta is and building a team around that has a decent chance against that, rather than necessarily trying to completely reinvent the wheel or even play to beat the thing that beats the meta.
Yeah. And I would add on to that, make sure you understand what the purpose is of it on the team, right? For example, I know I heard a lot of people out here just saying MOEs are going to be the thing that break the game. And realistically, I always say MOEs are very good at support and they provide you a lot of variety, but they're not the thing that's going to crush you, right?
They're not the main guy. They're the support.
Correct.
They're the backup.
And it's getting past that fear, I think. I'm going to call it that fear of seeing that that's such destructive support power. Nah, don't worry about him. Go deal with the Spider-Man. All right, go deal with the Sky Tyrant, the Sicarian, the Switch, the whoever, right? Don't focus on the support unless the support is an integral piece to the actual mechanic. And I think I'm going to piggyback back off of what you were saying, Clay, is I think the current modern is going to change drastically since we lost a lot of our major players that were meta right now. And you may see someone like Hot Tip, I think, that Chase Batman that says you never take more than one in close combat. He could be a next one. I'm looking at my shelf right now and he's up there,
I have an idea too. I think there's this sleeper figure, or there's 2 actually that people aren't talking about at all. And
Shaggy?
It's crazy that they're both named Scott Porter. I have a feeling that there's something there. No, I'm just kidding. He is clearly going to dominate the meta for the next 2.5 years.
Everyone's going to be playing 250, 246 point Heroclix.
Yep.
Either you're playing double Scott or the Scott trifecta.
Yeah,
Go from there.
We're gonna see what happens. I'm curious to see how the meta evolves. It's been fun looking at HCunits.net meta page and seeing what's coming. Now we just need some big tournaments to validate.
We're not getting anything till what, January, February, or something like that. To the next
October
big one?
7th, we're gonna have a Bronze Age event in SoCal at Majestix SoCal grand opening. So hopefully we have a good turnout there, and we'll kind of everyone plays modern in bronze you guys look at the teams, mostly everything's modern. You get a couple splash of the older objects, or randomly you'll get an older
Pim particles.
Whole 2 points. It's gonna wreck your team. But a lot of it's modern stuff. So I think that'll give us kind of a good grasp of what people are going to play, especially with the new Notorious, because Notorious will be legal. So it's actually a double good thing, because Notorious is legal on the 4th, and October 7th is the 7th day after the month of the Con Ellie releases. So all those porters will be legal. All the Con Ellies from Worlds will be legal. So everything's going to be able to be played.
Do we know if the Death of Superman pack's going to be legal? Because I think we're maybe getting that out this week as well. I've heard a little.
No, the Iconics that came out this week were the Robin. They were the Robin ones.
The Batman Robin.
Yep.
The great slap.
Those are the ones for the month of November. So they'll probably be next month. They'll probably be the October ones.
I thought I heard it was January, but I don't know for sure. Yeah.
Well, Italy just showed
Sherlock Holmes is coming. King Kong is coming. We got some others. And I think it sounds like they're trying to do one a month, right? That's the.
Yeah, I actually have my Alliance pulled up. Let me see. 10/11 is Death of Superman.
Oh, okay. There you go. So we're only a month away.
Yeah.
And of course, we have Scarab Light showing up.
Cyborg Superman.
Yes. Yep. So, like we talked about that, and we can go over it a little later at another time. But like stuff has to die, so it's not just a free attack. But once that happens, I feel he's a little scarier than Scarab because he doesn't have that restriction of maximum 1 damage dealt.
It's true.
But it's
paying like 3 times the price.
No, it says characters take a maximum of 2 damage. So it sounds like he can EE Psych Pen, which is going to be devastating.
You know, it's interesting. I don't know if I saw a post by Brian Galley, who is the lead for Heroclix Design, and his intention was that it is a maximum of 2 damage for the entire action, and he said specifically that even if you mind control another character, that damage should be capped at 2.
I don't know if that's how it reads though.
It doesn't. It's not quite how it reads in my mind either. So
it reads, or I can share my screen. Where are we at?
Now, if I now,
you guys see that?
He's not able to copy equipment, though, right?
No, he's not.
So I think that is a notable distinction because what really has broken Scarab is his ability to copy the equipment of adjacent figures.
Yeah, whether he's copying rings, he's copying exospecs or whatever, right?
But particularly the radioactive clay, where if you were
equipped,
he tried to use it, he's supposed to drop it.
Well, yes. It does say characters, right?
Yes.
So that means multiple characters could take the 2 damage. I mean,
that's how I interpreted it too. But so I'm curious to see how Brian.
But it's also massively easy to just not do it because you have to kill your opponent has to kill.
So look, when Scarab attacks this way, he deals a maximum of 1 damage, versus characters take a maximum of 2. So like if he EEs and he has Psych Pen, they all should take 2 damage. Like listeners, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but that's how I'm reading it. Like the wording's very different.
Yeah, you're right. So maybe it's multiple units can take each up to 2 each, but you couldn't take more than that. So
correct. And like even with the Punisher crit hit, right?
How would this play with the rocket launcher?
Don't give people ideas like that, Clay.
Oh, this idea has already been out there.
How this?
Well, you know what? All of you in modern land, this doesn't, matter to you.
So rocket launcher, they would only take. So this would supersede the rocket launcher. So you still got the splash effect, right?
Yep, and I think that's damage dealt, or.
So it's an after. Actually, no, it's an after resolutions thing.
You're right. It is an after resolutions thing. So it probably doesn't affect that at all.
Because when he attacks this way, characters take a maximum of 2, so it doesn't affect it. That's why it didn't affect Scarab.
But Jeff, I think we've discussed elsewhere. So, who cares about Cyborg Superman in bronze? You could just play Scarab, couldn't you?
Not anymore, friends.
Hot news! Hot news!
Scarab got the Ada ban in bronze, so I'll be putting an article out on that this week and kind of explaining why I did it and our thought process. But he had his time in modern. They didn't want to change anything. And a lot of it, when I talked to people at Worlds I was like, hey, come out to California, play bronze. And like the number one thing people said was, you guys still have Scarab. So I'm not doing it because everyone said it. Like I felt it was time for him to kind of take a backseat because he was dominating. And with the rocket launcher, it was just really gross. Like, I don't think you guys know about the rocket launcher trick. I'll get into that into the article. So, but brand new news in bronze. There's no more Scarab. So no more excuses.
So is he officially the only figure that is banned across every type of age?
I think so.
So yeah, hopefully Scarab will be very cheap to acquire if you don't have one in your collection.
Yeah, $5.
Can't play him anywhere. Beautiful on the shelf though.
He looks very nice.
Pretty.
And but like he had his time, and if he needs to come back because certain things are getting out of hand, like he can come back if he needs to put certain things in check. But right now, I feel like he was controlling a lot of the meta, and he was gatekeeping things. And it made it so like you couldn't play your clicks because, like you said, he would just mind control you, and he's supposed to drop the radioactive clay, and the KOs, right?
Yep, that's right.
So like you're supposed to score 5 points after the radioactive clay is used. That wasn't happening. So like
that's the same thing with the rocket launcher. That should be dropped and KO'd as well.
So like it was a lot of abusive things that were happening. So we're gonna try something different, see how things go.
He's now officially a living legend.
So that was something we actually talked about. Maybe I don't know if you guys know Blood and what is it?
Blood and Bone?
Yeah. No, is it?
Blood and Gore?
No, it's the card game.
I don't remember that. I don't play card games.
I can't. It's escaping me right now. But there's a card game that does Living Legends, and if they score, the company has a rating point, and if the card's played so much and wins so much, it becomes a living legend, and it's banned in the format. So I thought that was a little interesting thing to do. I just don't get how to make that work for Heroclix. But we'll see. But yeah, new stuff on bronze. Great Worlds. Oh yeah, my flight got delayed an hour and a half on the way home, so that sucked.
Yeah, 2.5 hours in Houston. Really fun. Woo.
I had great company. Like I couldn't have asked for better company. So no complaints on that. Just getting home at 2 a.m. and having to wake up 3 hours later and go to work. Not super fun.
I caught Concred, or my allergies went out of control.
Dude,
one of the two.
I was surprised I did not come back sick. Like I'm a very sickly person, and I was okay. How about you, Clay?
Yeah, so far so good.
I mean, Clay was the only one that was eating healthy out of all of us.
I don't know. I think the health of my food degraded quickly over time.
No, dude, it got better when we went to the buffet.
It's true. We were able to eat salad.
And they had vegetables.
They did. They had some delicious veggies.
Like the buffet is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
You know what the other way to go is? Know where other food is too. Ha!
But we're there like the entirety of the event. Like we get out too late to kind of go to other food. I'd have to give up a battle royale early to go eat.
Yeah, I've watched you crack fiends. Okay,
well,
I know what how it is. Okay,
I can eat any other time throughout the year, but I can only play battle royales at Worlds.
You can play battle royales at your local store as well.
But you don't get to win cool con Ellie's.
So that's assuming if you're good enough to win.
Oh, burn! Yeah, there was a lot of people there that weren't winning, but they all had high spirits.
They did. They were all good people.
There's a couple more salty people in the last couple days, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's it. Unless you gents have anything else to add.
Sounds good. Sure, you want to do a preview of our next one, Jeff? The idea that we were throwing around.
Remind me.
All right. So I think we're going to do the next one will be around HCunits.net. Yep. We're going to teach Patrick how to use the website. And we are going to go into some of the hidden features and cool things that HCunits does that you might not know about. How do you make your play better? You build better teams. You learn from the best people out there, and right now HCunits is probably the best thing that we have within our community to help.
It's amazing. My 10-year-old son is on there daily.
What's that, Patrick?
That's not unbiased right there, Mister. I created it.
Well, if there's
I didn't
something
say you weren't wrong. I just said you weren't unbiased.
Do you think Michelangelo would say the Sistine Chapel wasn't the best?
I don't know. He's probably eating a lot of pizza.
Creators out there, but I think in terms of a resource for like a website that collects teams, right now it's the best thing we have. And if there was something better, I would be the first person to use it.
Dude, we've never had anything like this. Like Pat Yapoko did a great job with keeping the team lists on his forum and stuff. Yep. But trust me, finding those teams to get on there was difficult. People wasn't as willing to share openly their teams. Like everyone is so happy to put the teams up on Clay's website, take claim for I won with this team, right? Like it's the environment and the mentality around it has changed significantly because of your website, and the openness of sharing is great.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick and you too, Jeff, gave me tons of early feedback on the site. Really great ideas and things like the tournament list. Yeah, I very much took that, based on what you guys were already doing, and just kind of make it a little bit more accessible.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll be giving you plenty more feedback next week when this old sea dog tries to learn how to use your website.
Yeah, I thought you were trolling me when you said you've never used the website.
I haven't. I sit in the bar with
thought you were trolling
every week, and he does all the lookup. I'm the crazy guy that comes up with ideas and be like, or just like, this is a good figure. Yeah, it's a great figure. Let's do something about this. That's my part. Okay.
I think even Roland uses the site though, because he's given me.
He probably does. I would not be surprised, but he is an oldie like I am, and we're from HC Realms age, or just the sheer fact of having binders and flipping through that to find stuff that way, right? But it'll be interesting to learn it,
Patrick, I'm always a fan of the analog.
There's this amazing thing that's happened in the last 20, 30 years, really 100 years of our life, called computers. It really is revolutionized things for a lot of us.
I'm an old data junkie. Okay, I like pads and pens and paper, and if you ever saw my desk at work, you'd see there's tons of it on that. Okay.
I was just doing a lesson with my 5th graders about how technology and sci-fi has changed the course of our history, and because of those things inspired so many different inventions. So yeah, it helps.
Yes, the elevator. Thank you, Star Trek. The tricorder. Let me pull my tricorder out. Oh wait, it's a phone.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll wrap it up here, and we'll get more into HCunits.net next time.
I look forward to it.
All
so
right.
Don't forget to practice rolling your dice, guys. Take it easy.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Shake it, Cali.